You're tuned in to the Foxboro BeatCast, a podcast for Patriots fans by Patriots fans. And here are your hosts, is Kaleb McChesney and Ryan Moore.
Hello and welcome to the Foxboro BeatCast, everybody. I'm your host, Kaleb McChesney. Alongside me is my co-host, Ryan Moore. Ryan, how are you doing this fine victory Thursday?
It's Thursday, not a Wednesday this time. Yeah, I'm feeling great. You know, coming off a huge win versus, if a team I despise, I know you despise them as well. It's always great beating Buffalo.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it is a victory Thursday and not a victory Wednesday. Wednesday, I fell to some illness, so we decided let's just push it back. We don't play till Sunday, anyways.
Yeah.
So our picking will be a little bit late. You guys will know what happens on Thursday Night Football before we do. But other than that, everything should be up to date, if not more up to date than we would have had yesterday. So without further ado, obviously, the New England Patriots giving us some fantastic vibes. They've won a football game, ladies and gentlemen. They took down the AFC East rival Buffalo Bills by a score of 29-25. I got that right?
Yeah.
29-25. This came with a Mac Jones fourth quarter comeback to give the team their second win of the season and their first against Buffalo since 2021 in that weird wind game. So really, this is the first legit win against Buffalo since Brady, if you want to put it that way. Obviously, this is probably the biggest win of the post-Brady era. Teams backed up against the wall against a real tough divisional opponent that's had their number lately, with no excruciating circumstances to really change that game up. But they won it. They went punch for punch, and Mac Jones and the offense delivered that late game touchdown, just like the defense stepped up for them basically the entire four quarters of the game. So props out to the Patriots on a really well-deserved, hard-fought victory that everybody kind of counted them out on. They proved that they're still alive.
Yeah. You know, when we talk about signature wins and stuff like that with Mac Jones,
this is one.
You got one, Mac. You finally got one. And
with that, we're just going to dive right into the thoughts, the recaps, whatever. Let's just reset our thoughts in this game and put it in the memory box to move on to the next segment the next week. But the second one in this podcast history, it's one that needs to be gone over in length. So what are some key takeaways from this game that can be taken away and applied to the rest of the year?
Well, I think we have to start with the offense. They looked much better, and I think they made a few key changes. So the first key change they made was shifting Michael Onwenu out to the right side, played right tackle. Now, you know, the starter before that was Vidarian Lowe, which, come on,
didn't work.
He's not an NFL player. That's established. So you put in Michael Onwenu at right tackle, and you put in C.D. Sal, I believe, played right guard.
Yeah. C.D. Sal played the inside.
Yeah. And that combo worked out really well, I think. That was the best offensive line performance by far. And when we talk about offense as well, we need to talk about the receivers, because the receivers have been under a lot of justified scrutiny this year for how poorly they played.
You, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Well, Devontae Parker, ride the pine. They basically just phased him out the offense. Demario Douglas, come on up. Jalen Reagor, who is signed today, come on up. They've looked much better than Devontae Parker has. You know, even I would say there's a certain big free agency signing, Juju Smith, that I would not be afraid to throw on the bench either at this point. Roll with the kids, man. The kids are giving you more than...
Kendrick Bourne, by the way, excellent game.
Yeah, Bourne played really well as well.
I know that he was kind of under attack for that fumble that they pulled back because of the illegal contact penalty, but it didn't cost you anything. So let's just write it up as a coachable moment. He'll be walking around Foxboro with the ball in his hands and everybody trying to knock it out in the hallways.
The Belichick staple.
Yeah. So yeah, no, and I think that the tight ends we finally have gotten some production out of besides Hunter Henry. Mike Gesicki looks amazing. Farrell Brown has more yards and more touchdowns than Juju Smith-Schuster on less catches, if you could believe that.
You know what my favorite Farrell Brown stat is? He's the number one ranked tight end on PFF. with
Well,
like
yeah,
a
he does it all.
93 grade.
He does it all.
Pharaoh Brown.
Who would have thought he'd be the lethal weapon of this offense? But no, I think that it was a great win, just top to bottom. There wasn't a lot that I could complain about. I think the offense took its time getting started. I feel like they didn't complete as many drives as they should have in the first half, but come the second half, they felt lights out. Anytime they got the ball on their hands, they were gonna either get deep into the red zone or in the opponent's territory, or they were gonna score.
Yeah.
They were going to do their job. And the defense, obviously, we were worried that, oh God, here we go with J.C. Jackson on Stephon Gilmore. And on Stephon Diggs, excuse me. Yeah, sorry,
cornerback, let's go.
I got the virus brain. It's not COVID, it's not the flu, thank God. But yeah, him on Diggs, we've seen that story 100 times before. It's never worked out in our favor. I forget who else they might have thrown on Diggs, but Jabril Peppers made a huge play. You love to see that.
Yeah, that's a guy I want to shout out as well.
Set the tone early on for the game.
I know they extended him, but I think it was for 2 years or something like that, or you gave him a contract for 2 years. Extend him. That's your missing key in the defense, man. Like, he's quickly becoming one of my favorite Patriots. Just the way he plays, the energy he brings. As David Andrews says, he's like, dude, you're a bit of a psychopath. And honestly, you need a psychopath on defense, man. You need that tone setter. Jabril Peppers is looking like he did in Michigan. Just a versatile psycho. And I think the Patriots need to prioritize keeping him. You do not let a player like that walk. He's finally tapping into the talent, and I'm so glad it's in New England. That was one of my guys coming out in 2017, and it's been so much fun to watch him truly break out this season.
And with that, I think we've recapped the game pretty well. If you guys haven't seen it, please go watch the highlights of it because it's definitely not one that you want to miss. Let's just dive right into what the future holds to this team real quickly. Obviously, with a win like this, I mean the team is still 2-5, but they have a winnable schedule ahead. Miami has some questionable injuries. Obviously, we know about the Tyreek Hill story, but it looks like he practiced today and he should be good to go for Sunday. Yep. So, with all of that in mind, 2-5, winnable schedule ahead. Can the Patriots make something of this season? Is there still more to come of this squad? Like, I know we were kind of writing them off when they were 1-5, but now they're 2-5 after a huge win that none of us saw coming. Is there a reason to kind of step back and say maybe we were too quick?
Well, I think it depends on, as always, it depends on the O-line. O-line, the receivers. If you have to resort to Vidarian Lowe again at any point, chalk it up as like it's going to be disaster, shit show, just because that guy's he's not an NFL player. If you have to resort to Juju Smith and Devontae Parker again, which Devontae Parker, by the way, I wouldn't be shocked if they caught him or trade him or something. You can get out of that contract. Juju should ride the pine. He's washed. If you can get going and get some momentum and keep the offense to league average, just be league average offensively. The defense is good enough on its own. Be league average offensively. I don't know if they're going to beat Miami, but who do they have ahead? Like Washington.
Yeah, they got Washington and then Indy and Germany. Bye week. Giants, Chargers.
Yeah, winnable. Those are all games.
You can be 5-5.
Yeah, and
at the bye week. If you win this week, you can be 5-5 at the bye. If not, you can be 6-6 by the time you play Kansas City on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, and all you need is a league average offense, which is what they were, honestly, versus Buffalo. And that's okay. That's fine. For the standards of this team, I was expecting league average. They're not going to, hopefully they don't go back to being the worst offense in the league again. One of the worst offenses in NFL history type bad, which is what they were. If they can do that, there is room for some optimism. There's still some issues, I would say, because they're an injury away from disaster. you know, you never know how deployments are going to work and stuff like that down the line. They could put in just honestly scrubs like Juju and shit and just try to shoehorn that and try to, force a square peg in a round hole, which is what that contract is. It's a bit boom or bust, honestly. I'm leaning towards boom, but there is reason to believe the Patriots could hit a slide again.
So obviously last week we kind of talked about, this season's probably done. We're probably cooked. This isn't a whole lot to look forward to. Do you think we were a little hasty in saying that after last week?
No, no. I still stand by everything.
You wouldn't rescind that, because I'm kind of rescinding it. I think that there's actually more to the season than I thought there was.
I still stand by everything I felt and said at that time and at that moment.
But now, how do you feel about it? That's my question.
Cautious. I'm a bit more cautious. Cautious optimism. I want to say optimism. What? I'm not super duper pessimistic anymore, but there's not a whole lot of like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're back on. We're winning a Super Bowl, baby. Banner 7. It's more so like, okay, maybe we're regressing back to the mean. Maybe this.
No, it's actually progressing back to the mean.
Progressing to the mean. So I'm
Remember, we're not working backwards anymore. It's not the Brady years. We're moving forward now.
My brain's fried too. I'm tired as shit. But yeah, there's a little bit more cautiousness to it, just in the sense of we saw what happened the past few weeks. They were the worst offense in NFL history, or one of the worst offenses in NFL history. Things could blow up really quickly if they don't keep it tight like they did versus Buffalo. And even honestly, for as enjoyable as the win was, there were times where the team kind of felt like, oh God, we're going to blow it. We're going to blow it again. We're going to blow it.
Especially that fourth quarter at the end.
Yeah. So
I really didn't think that we were going to pull off that last minute drive, but
neither did I.
Apparently they can do it. So that's a win in our corner.
Yeah.
They proved that they can do it.
Yeah. It's gonna, honestly, I think I'll get a better answer for this question after the Miami game, because this could be a one-off.
That's where you will sit. Make sure it's not fluke.
Yeah, if you beat Miami, or like it's like comes down to like a final drive type thing, and like let's say Miami walks you off or some shit. Okay.
Like you lose 35-33.
Yeah, something like that, where like Miami gets the ball last and like they call game or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I would be a little more optimistic if you can keep it to a one drive game out of your. Well, I wouldn't say out of your hands, because like the defense will blow it, but like, out of the offense's hands, because the offense is what I'm paying attention to the most. The defense is good. I have no concerns about the defense. I never really had any concerns. Outside maybe
and any concerns that you should have been alleviated last week when they, for all intents and purposes, really slowed down Buffalo.
Yeah. And I'm going to talk about Buffalo later on when we get to the NFL side of things. But yeah, defense played really well. They, even in those games where they got rinsed, they get like blown the fuck out. The defense wasn't the problem, man.
No,
it was the offense.
The offense gave them good field position every time, plenty of turnovers, plenty of pick sixes. It was just bad football offensively.
Yeah, you're getting rinsed. There's nothing you can do about it.
Obviously, we come into this game a little more handicapped, which we'll talk about when we preview this game really at the end. You don't have Judon, you don't have Gonzalez for this game, like you did in week 2. Offense might be playing a little better, but you're down 2 superstars. That's going to be the story on defense for you.
Yeah.
How do you make up that production?
I think, you got to look at, like, another player, an underrated player to give credit to on the edge side of things, Anthony Jennings.
Really? You think so?
He,
What are you
I
seeing?
think he's, what?
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing someone that Bill Belichick gave the old Wally Pip thing to when he talked about Anthony Jennings. But he played a really good game. Like, I've always viewed him as someone that's a really strong edge defender. He sets a good edge. He is a solid pass rusher. He's never going to light the world on fire, but when they called upon him to replace Josh Uche, he did a pretty good job. And, with trade rumors and stuff like that floating around, I mean, the trade deadline, I believe, is next week. So we'll find out especially when Keon White comes back. Could Josh Uche be traded because Belichick wants Anthony Jennings out there and Keon White?
I haven't seen a ton of Keon White lately. That's been kind of bothering
he was
me.
out last week with a
was he?
concussion. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know that.
In the Raiders game.
Okay, well that actually makes a lot more sense. Hopefully he's back this week.
I think he returned to practice.
But before we get to our tried and true Patriots Dolphins preview, before we talk about how we squished the fish, we're gonna go to our Week 8 NFL roundtable. As usual, there's a lot going on around the league. Primetime Kirk Cousins, who Ryan made fun of me for picking on Monday night, went and took down the 49ers on Monday Night Football. I'm just gonna pat myself on the back here. Thank you very much. What else do we got? The Ravens sent the Lions crashing back down to earth, as well as a lot of other notable upsets around the sport. So let's just get right to it. Let's talk about the storylines outside of Foxboro for just a moment. Ryan, I know you're coming in with a pretty thought out conversation about the quarterback play around the league, and I will just let you go.
And I had another one I'm going to bring up as well.
Oh, go ahead.
But we're going to do the quarterback one first and foremost. The quarterback play in the NFL has taken such a big hit.
How so?
Since the days of Brady, Manning, Breeze, Rodgers, Roethlisberger. I'll even throw Rivers, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, all these types of quarterbacks. Eli Manning, even like Brett Favre. You know what I mean? Like since like the 2010s, 2000s, I've seen a massive decline in quarterback play. And I saw someone on Twitter bring it up, and he nails it on the head. Nobody wants to take checkdowns anymore. I mean, you notice that, like, nobody ever really dumps it off to the running backs. They don't dump it off to the tight ends. It's a lot of, like, home run hits. It's like, we're going to bomb it down.
Derek Carr does it. Derek Carr does it to an obsessive amount. If you looked at some of his game track to Kamara.
Yeah. But what made Brady and Manning and Breeze and, like, Rodgers and all these guys so deadly is they weren't afraid to hit the check down, but they would take that shot. And when they take that shot, they're ripping your throat out.
So you're saying everybody's taking the shot now?
Everybody, it's a bunch of home run hitters instead of guys trying to just play football. Take the checkdowns. Take your fucking checkdowns. It's a lot of great athletes out there. It's probably the most athletically gifted era quarterbacks we'll ever see. Well, for now, I'm sure the future generations are going to be crazy. Like, there's going to be like 10 Anthony Richardson type quarterbacks that are all like 6'4", 250 pounds running like 4.2s or some shit, in the future. But I feel like the art of quarterbacking has gone away from a lot of guys. Josh Allen, for example, is someone that I think, I look at him, I'm like, I don't know if he can consistently put it together because he's not that Bills fans are going to massacre me. He's not that good of a quarterback. And what I mean by that is he plays football the way a fucking guy on Madden plays football. He's a Madden quarterback. I'm going to run, take dump. I'm going to basically play superhero four verts. Fuck it, Diggs down their ball. Fuck it, Gabe down their ball. Fuck it, whoever down their ball. I'm going to make stupid decisions. I'm going to, because he was bred to play football like a fucking idiot. Honestly.
That's why he went to, Wyoming?
Yeah. Like
Play against some shitty like Pac-12 defenses.
Mountain West, man.
Mountain West, even worse.
Respect the conference of Mr. Hurricanes. Kalispell. What was the team name? I forgot Kalispell's team.
God, now I can't even think of
it. But dude, like,
I gotta go look that up now. You keep talking.
Like, I actually ask people, watch Josh Allen like lowlights, and you'll ask yourself, what the fuck is he doing every single time on them? Like, quarterbacks are gonna make mistakes. It happens. Josh Allen's got the most turnovers.
The Kalispell Warhawks.
Warhawks. That's what they were. Like since Allen entered the league, he has I think it's 80 something at the start of the year. I think he's in the 90s now.
For picks?
For just turnovers.
Oh.
Like fumbles, picks, whatever. Because he plays quarterback like a fucking idiot. But I noticed there's Justin Herbert.
89 turnovers.
How many?
89.
Holy shit.
He's averaging about 14.8 a season.
Compare that to Brady. Compare that to Rodgers. My God. Take care of the fucking football. And it's not just a Josh Allen thing. I've noticed Justin Herbert
Tom Brady over his 260 over his 20 something year career, 260 turnovers. So Allen's already halfway there while being 5 years in the league.
Yeah.
And his average was
Brady
13.
Played in the early 2000s. So
Brady's average was 13.
Yeah,
averaged nine picks and 4 fumbles a year.
So you also got to remember, right? He played in the 2000s. He played basically the entire decade, where it was physical, smash them, rough them up football, where cornerbacks were legally allowed to beat the shit out of you at the line of scrimmage. You're actually allowed to hit the quarterback back then. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, for reference, 144 times. His average turnovers is 7.6.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just to give you 3, just because I feel like it, Drew Brees, 285 turnovers during his career. His average actually is 15. His average is higher than Josh Allen, but Brees also played behind a pretty terrible O-line.
Yeah. And, I mean, we also got to remember there were a lot of years of the Saints were hey, Drew, just throw the ball. When you throw the ball a million times, you're going to have picks. It happens. That's why
Eli Manning with an even 300.
Yeah. But I shouldn't have brought up Eli when I talk about real quarterback play. But even then, Eli could take a fucking check down. And, you look at some other guys around the league. I haven't been impressed with Jalen Hurts, and I know he's going to be, funny enough, the subject of my next, what I'm going to bring up next. Even I think Mahomes is probably the best all-around quarterback in the league, and even then, I think his offensive scheme helps him a lot, and he still can be pretty undisciplined at times. He makes some reckless throws. Let's see. I haven't been impressed with quarterback play, honestly.
So if you let's take the mean quarterback now. Who do you think is the average?
Well, I used to call it the Kirk Cousins line, but I think
Kirk is a little bit he's a little bit better than that.
I think right now, if I had to say the average line of quarterback play, it's probably Derek Carr.
Okay, so let's take 2023 Derek Carr, and let's go back to 2010. Who was quarterback 16 in 2010?
Probably Alex Smith.
All right, so who would you rather have, Alex Smith or Derek Carr? I think I'd rather have Alex Smith.
I think I'd rather have Alex Smith too.
Well, there's your answer.
Alex Smith is a pretty good quarterback, man.
Alex Smith today, back if you put Alex Smith in today, in the form of what he was in 2010, he's probably an upgrade of about 70% of rosters.
Yeah. Well, I think you put it up in draft chat. I saw is Kirk Cousins a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah, it's literally just Lions fans that think that's crazy, and they think Jared Goff is top 10.
And I'm not a Kirk Cousins. I think you know me, and I'm not a Kirk Cousins defender.
I
But
am. That's why I'm here.
The fact that he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, one, says a lot about the state of the league. And two, the fact that like a guy I used to have in the mid 2010s is kind of like the Mendoza line of average quarterback play, or like late 2010s, is now a top 10 guy, says the quality's dropped off.
And you also have to remember that like you obviously you don't have the Brady, the Mannings, the Rodgers, the Roethlisberger to really like own up like about a solid 5 to 10 spots in that top 10.
Yeah.
It's been a rough
And
transition.
I know the league is young, and I know young quarterbacks make mistakes. But to me, it just feels like there's a lot of guys that are athletes that are playing stupid football, and they're taught stupid football instead of how to play quarterback.
No, I think that again, we're kind of in this transition phase of the league here, and it's kind of a violent transition at that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like one of those things that's going to get ugly before it gets better.
Yeah. Right? You know who I'd say is the second best QB in the league right now?
I'm gonna guess Burrow, but he's had a bad year.
No, it is Burrow. I think just based off the way he plays quarterback is the second best behind Mahomes, because he plays like a quarterback, and it's because he doesn't have a choice but to play like a quarterback. It's not very mobile, so I see a guy like that, and I think I wish since he would put a better O line behind him. I also do think if even with Burrow, he'd be behind some of these guys in the 2010s and shit like that. Like, I don't think he's an all timer yet, and that's my second best QB in the league. And it's because he holds onto the ball for a long time. Like he plays a great quarterback style, but he still has some really bad habits that have burned him. And while the O line is bad in Cincy, and I've always believed Cincy's had bad O line behind him, he's also had some really bad habits where he holds onto the football, or he'll play a little Madden ball sometimes, and that's your second best guy right now.
And you said you had something on Jalen Hurts for your next point.
Yeah, the tush push.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but I am a defender of the tush push.
I hate that it exists, but I'm not gonna say to ban it. Like it's obvious that they're the only team that can do it.
Yeah. If you can't defend the tush push, womp fucking womp. Adjust, get better at it, and hey, maybe tell your quarterback to hit the fucking gym. You ever see Jalen Hurts, man? That guy's built in a fucking lab.
I don't know. Herbert can't do it either.
Well, I think Herbert probably,
and he's 6'6".
Herbert needs to hit leg day, man. Jalen Hurts can squat like a fucking truck, I swear. Like Jalen Hurts, I know everyone like likes to make like running back memes and shit about like running quarterbacks, but like the way Jalen Hurts is like legitimately built, like he'd be an insane power running back if he also didn't have to be pretty good throwing the football too. Like, he's a fucking truck of a human being. He could play linebacker and fuck you up. He could play like safety and fuck you up. He's just a beast. And that's why it works. The Eagles have a beast. They have a guy that's so goddamn strong. So, he hits leg day and shit like that. He can squat a truck. And that's why that play works. If you can't fucking defend it, cry about, like, just keep crying and fucking adjust, man. Like, holy shit, I fucking hate this shit. Like, it's the same with the whole, like, banning players because they could leap over the line and block a kick. The Jamie Collins, Cam Chancellor, Shea McClellan rule, where guys could jump over the line, block a kick. Get fucking good athletes then. Don't ban the play. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. And, they're citing injury concerns and shit like that. Well, let's ban football then. Let's ban football. Because injuries happen on every fucking play. Injury could happen on a goddamn slant route. Should we ban slants now?
At Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Oh no, we're gonna ban a halfback dive.
I don't really care about the tush push, whether it gets banned or not. Like I don't care. I'll lean towards no because it's obvious that no other team can do it, and obviously teams haven't figured out how to defend it yet. So figure it out. Yeah. But if they ban it, I'm not going to be out an uproar either. I don't really care.
Yeah, I just think it's stupid. Listen, if I'm pretty sure Philly probably converted against us multiple times. I'd have to look back. You know what?
I don't remember.
Womp womp. Defend
but
it. One last point. Remember when the Ravens bitched up a fucking storm about the whole ineligible receiver shit or whatever the hell?
Ravens, yep.
He had to declare a player eligible.
Which they already did anyway.
Yeah. And the ref has to be like, 85 is now eligible.
Yep.
Ridiculous. Stop fucking with the game of football. I'm sorry. I'm being a bit of a fucking ranty about the whole fucking just stupidity of the league and shit right now. But I don't know.
Oh, my roundtable thought is actually about a stupid former Patriot. Chase Winovich has retired at the age of 28.
Long live Chase Winovich.
I hope you enjoyed that, Roland. Chase Winovich, I never thought he was a good player. I never thought he was any good. No. He was overrated. He was overrated his rookie year. What did he do? What was his highlight? Give me a Chase Winovich highlight.
Plays versus the Giants.
Give me a Chase Winovich highlight, and I will show you 50 lowlights of him failing to set an edge or failing to wrap up the quarterback. He sucked.
He sucks, Mike.
And then in 2020, he was even worse.
Hey, he had that cool play versus the Seahawks where he flipped, I think it was Carlos Hyde or someone.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later, when we're playing the Niners, he unnecessarily just suplexes Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's your beef with him.
And then gets chewed out by Belichick on the sideline and never sees the light of day ever again.
Don't touch.
Again, one, you don't touch Jimmy, and two, it was stupid. They're on the other side of the field.
That's your beef with him.
Well, my beef is also that he sucked, and we wasted a third-round pick on him.
Oh fuck! The Patriots spent a third-round pick on Geno Grissom. Sorry, Geno, if you're listening, but
yeah, okay. But Grissom's biggest downfall was that he never saw the field. Winovich saw the field and he sucked. Honestly, I find Winovich more offensive. I do.
Chase Winovich, VR comes upon us. At least he fucked me.
It'll be like that one YouTuber with what's his name? Eric Armstead when he pulled him on Madden.
Oh.
I won't find the clip, but if you guys want to go find it, please do. But yeah, Winovich was never my guy. I always hated him. I thought his hair was stupid. I thought fans overrated him because he had stupid hair. We were looking for that guy with the next Chris Long. Remember that? It was after that era that we drafted him. And we're all looking for this high motor edge rusher who doesn't know when to stop. Big lunch pail guy. Last guy out, first guy in, the stupid white guy cliches that just make up for the fact that he can't play football. Chase Winovich could never play football. He never did. He sucked. And he retired a Texan at the age of 28. Why? Because he sucked.
Oh, shit.
Any thoughts on Chase Winovich, Ryan? I summed it up?
I kind of like Chase Winovich's first couple of years, and then,
what did he do in 2020?
He flipped over a Seahawks running back, and I thought that was cool.
Okay, and I could show you 50 other lowlights.
Yeah.
You know how bad he was. He was Cassius Marsh bad. He was Cassius Marsh bad.
Oh, okay. No. Cassius Marsh is the worst football player I have ever seen.
I think Winovich is right there with him, man. He couldn't send edge. He couldn't send edge against your Nana either. He couldn't do it.
No, 2019 Chase Winovich is so much.
My Nana would be juking him out on the edge. Okay,
dude. Cassius Marsh literally was not only a team cancer loser, but he also fucking stunk at football. And I saw that guy basically get rinsed by anybody in coverage.
So Winovich was just a likable Cassius Marsh then.
He's a bit better than Cassius Marsh. Come on.
No, if he is, it's barely. Winovich wasn't good at football. He was good.
It's kind of
he got a second chance with Houston because he was a Nick Caserio pick. That's why.
It's kind of the one pile of dog shit smells a little better than the other scenario. I'll take my pile of dog shit and Chase Winovich over the fucking steaming mountain high pile of dog shit that was Cassius Marsh, bro.
I think you're really overestimating just how bad. You're really underestimating just how bad Chase Winovich was.
No, I saw Chase Winovich his first couple years.
He was horrible. He was horrible.
He was a solid rotational player his rookie year.
He wasn't solid. He was underwhelming. Yeah. For all the hype he got, he was underwhelming.
The fuck out of Jimmy. If he didn't suplex Jimmy Garoppolo, you'd probably be like.
If he didn't suplex Jimmy Garoppolo, I wouldn't give a shit. But if you ask me about Chase Winovich, I tell you he sucked.
Is he?
But I'm mad because he went and suplex Garoppolo. Because listen, Garoppolo's fragile, man. You can't do that to him. You just can't. But no, Chase Winovich was bad.
When guys that launch cheap hits on Tom Brady retire, I'm like, yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, what you thought about what's his name? Bernard Powell.
Bernard Pollard?
Pollard, yeah.
Piece of shit, loser, psychopath. I don't know.
You know how devastated I was when he was like one of the he was I found out he was like one of the biggest advocates for my favorite NASCAR team. And I saw that he was like reposting all this shit. I'm like, God, why? Why him?
It's changed teams now.
I can't. I'm Ally 48 pilled. I can't do it. I just pretend he doesn't exist. I pretend that he is not there. But yeah, Winovich was like, he was what, like the 5th best player on that defense? And we drafted him in the 3rd round. Unbelievable. Horrid. Bad. Another Belichick bust. F. We were going back on trade grades. F-. He was horrible. But now he can retire in Portsmouth, New Hampshire and be happy. Good for you.
He sucks, Mike.
He blows. Any other roundtable thoughts, or are we just gonna get right into this Squish the Fish preview?
Yeah, I did notice. You're talking about the primetime Kirk Cousins thing quickly. Brock Purdy. I just want to bring up that game quickly.
Bad.
Brock Purdy's
bad.
Stats after the alleged concussion, man.
Telling.
Yeah, that's not a good look on San Francisco.
Was he horrid?
Dude, so he was like damn near perfection before the concussion. After it, that's when he threw the 2 picks and like basically couldn't hit a pass to save his life. Yeah. San Francisco, man, and Brock, someone should have probably stepped in and like said like, hey, you need to get your head checked.
Apparently, he hadn't shown any symptoms until the plane, but that's just what Shanahan said. And Shanahan's also not been known to be the biggest advocate for quarterback health, I could say as a Jimmy Garoppolo fan.
Yeah. Shanahan probably hit him over the head with a steel chair so he could start Sam Darnold. We forgot to bring up Darnold. Darnold agenda.
That's right. We'll do that in the picks. We'll do our Darnoldisms.
We're a pro Sam Darnold podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll explain
Make
later.
USC great again. Pull up the Photoshop. But yeah. Patriots versus Dolphins preview. This week we're traveling down to South Beach, looking to get our second game in against the Dolphins out of the way. The Fins will likely be working with Tyreek Hill this weekend, despite the controversy, the kind of assumptions early in the week. Tyreek says he's good to go, that he's going to play. We'll see what kind of role he really has, whether that's Matt Mike McDaniel telling him to say that, or if that's he's good to go and he's going to be 100%. We'll see. But yeah, last time the Patriots went out against Dolphins, they lost 17-10. What do we got to do to turn this around, Ryan?
Keep up the consistent offensive play. Here's where things are going to get a little murky. Last time we played the Dolphins, as you brought up, we had Christian Gonzalez to help take out a guy like Tyreek Hill
Also had
and
Matthew
Jalen Waddle. We don't have that. And J.C. Jackson did a lot more of an admirable job than I thought he ever could do against Stephon Diggs. JC, I'm sorry for doubting you. But this week, I'm going to be a little bit more doubtful because Tyreek Hill is a different type of fucking beast.
Probably one of the he's probably a top 3 receiver in the NFL right now.
Top 3, maybe top 1.
Yeah, I was just thinking, well, there's Jefferson.
He might be in the MVP race.
Yeah,
which,
no kidding.
I mean, honestly, that's another thing. This is one of the saddest MVP races I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, who is like the top 3 candidates in your mind right now?
Mahomes, I guess.
Mahomes gets the shoe in. I'll put Tua there, and I'll put Tyreek there.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe Tyreek, Christian McCaffrey.
Yep, it's
like
bad. It's Mahomes shoe in. This is Rodgers' 2021 MVP or 2020
that
MVP, whatever
Brady's
it was.
MVP. I stand on that though.
Well, maybe I'm thinking 2020
season.
When like there was no worthy candidate in 2020.
2021 should have been Brady's. I stand on that. Everyone can fight me on that one. I don't care. I'll fucking battle you all.
Listen, I don't necessarily disagree, but I don't care as much. I think they were both fine candidates to get it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah. No.
Patriots Dolphins.
Yeah. Interrupting your Patriots Dolphins fans to spread the Tom Brady agenda. Anyway, I think J.C. Jackson and fucking, I don't know, like Sean Wade, Miles Bryant, whoever the fuck, Jack Jones.
Jack Jones.
Jack Jones I forgot to bring up Jack Jones. He played pretty good. But
I didn't see a whole lot of him last week, but I heard he played well. So
yeah. But listen, it's going to be really tough to defend these guys. I think Miami, they're going to come out buzzing, especially after a loss. Yeah, they're talking about we're going to crush whoever we play next, and we'll see if they back it up. Yeah, I did see. I want to say Mostert was hurt.
Yeah, they have a long injury list.
Surprise, surprise, Raheem Mostert injured. Yeah, with Miami's system though, just turn out a running back after running back. Doesn't matter there. I think the Patriots are going to have their hands full this week with defending the Dolphins' offense, and offensively for the Patriots. Keep the same offensive line combo. Play DeMario Douglas for fuck's sakes. Let's see what else. Mike Gesicki revenge game ? Farrell Brown, use him.
Don't use him. Devontae Parker.
Send Devontae Parker to on a raft on the Atlantic Ocean. Have him just float away. I don't know. Maybe give him back to Miami. Say no takesy backsies and just fly off without him.
Yeah, leave him at South Beach Airport. Yeah.
You ever see, like, I remember when the Lakers won at the bubble, and the thing is Quinn Cook, he's like, hey, you guys forgot me on the team bus. The bus just departs without Devontae Parker. He's like, what the fuck?
And Juju.
Yeah, and Juju. Bill's like, get ready to speak Floridian, buddy.
Juju whips out his phone. Well, I guess we can make a TikTok now, buddy.
Even Juju hits a fucking duo with Mike McDaniel.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
My preview. I think it's pretty simple. I think you could run with the same game plan you had week 2 for the most part. I think if you do the same thing you did defensively in week 2 and you hold them to 17 points, you're probably going to win that football game if your offense stays the way it has been. You want to
Want
dominate.
to stop Tyreek Hill play.
You want to, yes, basically. I mean, they did it all game last time, which is fantastic.
But they also had Gonzo.
You also had Gonzo, but we also stopped Stephon Diggs last week.
Yeah, they simply ran the stop Stephon Diggs play.
I'm just saying, you have a game plan there. More people smarter than me know what you're doing, so I'm just going to assume that you can do it again. So, do similar things like you did. You eliminate the best player on that team. The Patriots have always been good at not letting the best player burn you. And Tyreek Hill, for the most part, hasn't burned us in his career. Offensively, obviously, you need to do better. You can control the clock all the while putting points on the board. You can do that. Yeah, they didn't do it in week 2. They had the possession in the last quarter like 4 times to put it away and tie, and they didn't do it. You need to make good on those opportunities, and you need to put the game away. I think the Patriots can absolutely win this game, but it's going to be in similar fashion to what it was week 2, and you got to come through on those late game possessions like they did last week. So I think that's simply what it. What are you smiling about?
I'm just smiling at the thought of leaving Devontae Parker behind. I can't help it. It's the concept of leaving a player behind. At the stadium.
They didn't leave me behind. I didn't get on the bus.
Yeah.
Lions don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. I'd be a Devontae Parker.
Hey, listen, at least Caleb
say.
Williams is good enough to pull off that quote. Devontae Parker, that's like bench players talking like starters. I hate it.
I didn't even like Caleb Williams saying it. He hasn't played good against a real defense his entire career. What are you doing?
We can talk prospects later on, and you can talk about how much you hate Caleb Williams, and I'll defend him.
I'm allergic to draft talk in October anyway. Week 8 pick'em. When the Patriots come on, we'll give our score prediction. But right now, we got to run through the rest of the games here before kickoff in about 4 hours. So let's kick off week 8 with a week 7 recap. I beat Ryan with a total of 7 right to his 6. It was a bad week, but it's never a bad week really when I win. So we're on to new week. Let's get right to it. Week 8. Tampa is heading up to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Who do you got in this one and why?
Could you think of 2 more teams that are insufferable to my existence?
The Bucs and the Bills?
Yeah. Fuck, I'm not even watching this game tonight. I'm watching the Blue Jackets instead.
Oh, wow.
Give me Buffalo.
Why?
I don't know. Because Baker Mayfield sucks, but like Josh.
Okay. Listen, we'll stop right there. Baker Mayfield sucks. I'm a big fan of that. Let's keep it rolling. I also took Buffalo. I think they're just going to have a big bounce back. Up next, the Rams are heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. The Rams with a new addition. Sean McVay finally had his kid. Didn't happen on game day, so he's pretty relieved about that. But I got the Cowboys. I think they're going to curb stomp the Rams. I don't know what you think.
No, I think Sean McVay is getting in his bag for this one.
So you take the Rams?
I'm taking the Rams. I feel like this is the obligatory like Dallas pisses and shits their pants game.
I thought they already had that in Arizona.
Yeah, they'll have. Listen, Dallas is due for like 3 or 4 of them.
Up next, Dallas, the Vikings after their big win, they're going to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Who you got in this one?
Listen, I want to defend Jordan Love so badly, but he's played like shit.
Every time you do it, he plays like shit.
Give me the Vikings.
Me too. But you didn't spread any Kirk-aganda, so it's gonna work out.
Okay, Kirk Cousins is throwing for 400 yards, and Jordan Love will throw 5 interceptions. There.
That's not the same nature as what you did with Love, but I'll take the Vikings too. Kirk Cousins is him. That offense is working. Keep it rolling. Up next, the Falcons are going to take on the Titans, who are starting Will Levis, by the way. Will Levis. This is going to be a turnover fest that we've never seen before between Ritter and Levis. But who you got?
Is Bijan Robinson going to have a headache?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm going to take, I guess, Atlanta.
I, too, took Atlanta. If Tannehill was playing, I would have picked the Titans pretty comfortably, but Levis, you just have no idea what you're going to get out of that.
Ooh,
what?
A little bit of news, quickly.
Good.
Brock Purdy is participating in practice today.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe put a pause on our Darnold agenda.
Nah, fuck it. I'm still because we don't know yet. I'm still spreading my Darnold propaganda. No
Up
one can
next,
stop me.
a Super Bowl. Oh God, what Super Bowl is this? 43? 43? 44?
It was 44.
44.
43 is Steelers Cardinals.
Got it. Okay. A Super Bowl. Say it again.
Super Bowl 44.
Super Bowl 44 rematch between the New Orleans Saints and the Indianapolis Colts. Both teams nowhere near the Super Bowl form, but we're here anyway. Ryan, who do you got in this one?
I'd be remiss if I didn't make a speeding joke about Chris Olave. They had the best speed threat in the league. Give me the Saints.
I agree. I just think that the Colts team is horrible. They're bad. How do you give up?
Angry message from a friend of ours.
Listen, he'd be lying to you if he didn't say this team is trash too.
Yes.
Didn't they squeak by the Browns last week?
That was a fucking barn burner.
They squeaked by one of the worst teams in the NFL because they are one of the worst teams in the NFL themselves. Give me the Saints pretty comfortably. I know the Carr's going to do something and mid it up, muck it up. He's not going to be good, but he's going to be
the
fine.
Battle of mid.
Yeah. Up next, we're going to skip the Patriots and the Dolphins. The Jets and the Giants. There's no reason pointing out who's home in that one. It's both their stadiums. Both these teams have been bad, but one team I think has been better than the other. We'll see if you pick the better one. Ryan, who do you got?
I got the Jets.
Me too. It's a top 10 defense there going against one of the bottom offenses of football.
It's going to be so ugly, man.
It's going to be like 10-3.
New Yorkers are dreading that one.
It's going to be like 10-3. That's going to be the final score. Up next, Jacksonville's heading to Heinz Field, formerly known, to take on the Steelers. Who do you got in this one?
Give me the Jaguars.
Any reason why?
I thought Lawrence played really well last week on the busted knee. Looked fine. Now this could all be subject to change if TJ Watt fucking does a old what was his name? Is like Kiko Van Olhoffen or whatever the fuck on Trevor Lawrence. And if you don't understand that reference, it's the Carson Palmer ACL tear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Give me the Jaguars. As always, because Brian brought it up today in chat, fire Matt Canada.
I am taking Pittsburgh. I think the Jaguars are really up and down, and Steelers are a team that plays up to their competition. And the Jaguars, I just don't know if they can handle it. I don't. So give me Pittsburgh at home there. Up next, the Commies are hosting the Eagles in Washington. Last time this game was actually particularly close in the link. So who you got in this one, Ryan?
Philly.
Me too.
I forgot to bring it up as just a point of quarterback play. Sam Howell, dude.
Bad.
That guy's on pace to take an all-time record in sacks. And what's crazy is he's actually not a bad passer, but he's got the worst pocket awareness I've ever seen from a quarterback. This guy runs into sacks like a motherfucker. So Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, Josh Sweat. Fucking is Brandon Graham still kicking it? I don't know. You can tell me Brandon
Yes, I think so. I think Brandon Graham's still over there.
Yeah. They'll get a billion sacks.
It's gonna be bad. I too take the Philadelphia Bulldogs. Up next, Houston is traveling to Carolina, battle of the first round pick quarterback, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. Who do you got in this one?
Give me CJ.
I agree. I think Houston's a better football team. Just straight up, I think.
Yeah.
I know they lost a huge thing in Chase Winovich. I don't know how they're going to live without him, but Houston's going to kick the shit out of Carolina. Carolina's bad.
They are really bad.
Horrible.
I whiffed on my evaluation of them.
Bad. The whole division. Up next, the Browns are heading to Seattle, take on Cleveland. Take on the Seahawks. God. Browns are going to be without Deshaun Watson. PJ Walker's going to start again. Yeah, that locker room just has to be in some sort of desperate turmoil. I'd take the Seahawks comfortably. It's not going to be close. What do you think?
Seahawks are wearing the best arguably the best uniforms of football this weekend.
The ugly ass neon green or the throwbacks?
The throwbacks, baby.
Okay. A lot of people hype up those ugly ass green ones. I'm like, they look
Oh
like
fuck,
vomit.
those are terrible.
They look like vomit.
Dude, the Seahawks throwbacks, the
Throwbacks are
Eagles
awesome.
Kelly Greens, the Patriots Pat the Patriot eras are my
Vikings
top 3
throwbacks.
uniforms.
Vikings throwbacks are really good too.
Yeah. It feels like a lot of teams should just go back to their throwbacks, honestly.
What's your opinion on the Bledsoe Blues?
Overrated.
I hate them.
I think they're fucking ugly.
They're gross.
Like I wouldn't mind them as a kind of like a once in like blue moon type, like pull them out. But like all these fans that are clamoring for them, like, well, I need to see games with them. I'm like, fuck, really? Like, do we need to?
Like the people that post the Mac Jones Photoshop with him in it.
Yeah, it's so blah.
The big ass logo on the shoulder pads, the fucking pinstripes. Ugh.
If anything, if we're going to do throwbacks, I can't wait for. Well, actually, it's going to make me feel a little sad when we eventually do the throwbacks for the Brady era jerseys.
I wish we never left.
They really shouldn't have, but I also like that they did. You know what? While we're at it, I got some time quickly. They should have went back to the Pat the Patriot stuff when Brady left New England instead of this dog shit blueberries jersey. And that could be the off-season discussion thing, but I hate our uniforms right now. They're some of the worst in football.
I don't hate them, but they don't do anything for me.
They're just fucking bland.
Yeah, I find myself buying other teams' jerseys more often than not as for memorabilia because these Patriots jerseys are so bland.
Go back to the red.
Full time.
The navy blue should be the Brady era. Go back to the red. At least the team would represent what the red Patriots were, which is fucking trash for the most. Okay,
it's a little far. It's a little far. But up next, right. Kansas City is heading to Mile High to take on Denver. Denver's coming off a win in Lambeau, I think. But what do you think
I'm looking at the sheet right now. It says Kansas City. Kansas City Chiefs, baby.
I did not make the sheet.
No, I know.
You can blame Tristan for that.
Tristan made it. Yeah, shame on him.
No, he just found it.
Still fuck you, Tristan. If you're listening to this, Tristan, I love you, but fuck you.
Tristan doesn't listen.
Anyway, give me the Chiefs.
I agree. Denver's not good. Battle of the Birds. Lamar out coming off his huge game. They're going to Arizona to take on the Cardinals, and we have no idea when Kyler Murray's coming back.
I don't think he's playing.
Not this week. I got the Ravens. I hope, for the love of God, that Arizona doesn't let Lamar demolish them like Detroit did. But we'll see. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, give me the Ravens. I don't think it's close either, just based off how the teams are playing.
Yeah. Up next, the Bengals are heading to Levi Field to take on the 49ers. 49ers who could be starting Sam Darnold, our boy, QB1 in 2018. If he went anywhere but Adam Gase, he would be fine. They got the Bengals who are
Bowles and Adam Gase,
who are rocking and weaving. Who do we got in this one?
I got Cincinnati winning it, but if Sam Darnold plays, I wouldn't be shocked if there's an interesting conversation created in San Francisco.
What if he plays better than Brock Purdy?
That's what I mean, right? Wouldn't
we
shock
all think
me.
He has
49ers offense.
We think he has that potential.
Yeah. Listen, he's only 25 or 26 actually.
Still time.
Yeah. And yeah, he's had some starts where he started out really well and then flamed out. We got to remember his coaching staffs have fucking sucked everywhere.
Some of the worst in football year by year.
And now he's on one of the best. So let's see. I'm excited. If Sam Darnold plays, I'll be tuning into that.
If Brock Purdy plays, I won't be watching.
I mean, if Brock plays, I'll be watching regardless because it'll be the only game on my fucking TV because I live in Ohio. But yeah, I'll be tuned in. I'll be really invested if Darnold plays. If Brock plays, maybe some investment. I don't know. We'll see.
Up next, the Bears are heading to the Chargers. I too to the Bengals if nobody caught that.
Fuck greenlit this for Sunday Night Football.
It's not one of the flexible games, is it? If it was, we'd hear it by now. I took the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a 5-win team. What, they got like 3 more wins before I'm wrong. I'll give them this one.
Yeah. Tyson Badgett, though, he's been a fun story, but I think the Chargers will probably win this.
Up next, I think Garoppolo's back. He's heading to Motor City to take on the Lions. I can't confirm if Garoppolo's back. I just heard that.
We'll see.
If not, it's Brian Hoyer. So there you go.
Yeah. I get Detroit winning.
I took Detroit too. Even if Jimmy was playing, I just feel like the Raiders they just don't have it.
Yeah.
What's your points for that one?
I'm gonna say 34-17 Detroit.
So 51?
51.
I took them. I have a total of 33. I think I went 17-16 or something like that.
All right.
And then up next, the game you've all been waiting for, the Patriots heading down to Miami. Ryan, we've covered it. We previewed it. We've talked about it. Why will the Patriots
lose?
God damn it.
I'm sorry. Why? Not that I think last week was a fluke, but this is a really good Miami team. You're going down to Miami, where it's humid as shit.
We've sucked there for many years.
Yeah. And to be frank, I don't know if there's anybody in the defense that can handle Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle right now. In week 2, with the way the defense was set up, yeah. Week 8, where our best cornerback is out and Matt Judon's out and all that shit. No, I don't think so. Prove me wrong, though. I'd like to be proven wrong. I don't like Miami that much either. So listen, bring us a good win, but I have to see it to believe it with this team.
Got a score?
I think Miami will put up. They're gonna put up 31 points. I think New England will put up 21 points.
31-21 is your final?
Yeah.
Well, usually I would be inclined to agree with you here. But a certain Boston figure in his own right was on national TV last Friday night. He goes by the name of John Cena, okay? He goes on this promo, takes the mic, does his big entrance with his theme song and everything. He hops into the ring, looks at the fans who are all cheering his name, and he goes, "You know what, guys? I've been thinking about retirement. I haven't won a singles match in 2,002 days. Maybe it's time I hang it up." And everybody's cheering, "You still got it. You still got it." And Cena takes the mic and he says, "You know what? I believe in me. I believe in you. I believe in us. It's time to turn this math around." And that's exactly what the Patriots are going to do on Sunday. They're going to walk into South Beach, turn the tide. They're going to win. They're going to go 3-5, new record, 3-5. They're going to be 5-5 by the bye when they beat the Commanders and they beat the Colts in Germany. They're going to be 5-5 into the bye. You come out with 2 winnable games. The Giants and the Chargers, you're 7-5. Then you think you have the Steelers on Thursday Night Football, and then you have the Chiefs. I really like my odds, and I'm really buying in on the team now. Somebody has to. I'm going to. This is the week. This is the year. It all turns around. God damn it. I believe in this podcast. I believe in this page. I believe in this team. I believe in the coach. I believe in the quarterback, even if it's a thin ice situation. The Patriots are going to win this game, and it's going to be a score of, dare I say it, 35-33.
Oh, boy.
7 touchdowns by the offense. Right? No, 5. 5 touchdowns by the offense.
Yeah.
I can't math today. 35-33. And you know how it comes down? Another fourth quarter drive by Mac Jones. Another one. And a touchdown to Mike Gesicki, just to really just wave into the Patriots propaganda that I have infused here. So give me the goddamn Patriots in this big spot, gotta have it moment. They're going to ride the wave into more success, 3-5, when you come and see us next week. There you have it. Captain Optimism, even with the bad voice. So, with all that being said, any final words before we close this up?
Yeah. Fuck the Dolphins, man. Fuck the Bills. Listen, I want to take back the East. So, starts with games like this.
And with that, not to end on a morbid note, but thoughts and prayers and thoughts and hopes with our friends up in Lewiston, Maine after that tragedy. I will try not to be too political about this, but there is a certain demographic that is looking at the wrong thing as to why these things keep happening. And I'll leave it there. Yeah. So, thoughts and prayers with the victims.
Definitely thoughts out to them. It's fucking ugly incident, man. Brutal.
And hopefully we all heal and we get better and we look at this Patriots game as a point to really look for some optimism in a world that doesn't really have a lot of it. So, I've been your host, Kaleb and Ryan. That's been Ryan Moore. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow the show. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Oh, one more announcement. We are coming out with a B-sides show. It's going to be more off Patriots topics, off NFL topics. Our good pal Tristan is going to be joining us for that. I won't always be in the host chair for it, talking all the time, so that's a plus on me. My voice is getting raspy, so I'll leave more details in the future. Thank you for watching. Go Patriots, baby. Big win.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Foxboro BeatCast. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.